In the heart of ancient Israel, amidst the shadows cast by oppression, a tale of strength, love, and betrayal unfolded. For 4 long decades, the Israelites endured the harsh rule of the Philistines, their spirits weighed down by the burden of subjugation. In the small town of Zorah, nestled within the territory of Dan, lived Manoah and his wife, who carried the sorrow of childlessness. Their days were filled with longing, but fate had a different plan, one that would change the course of their lives and their people. One fateful day, the angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife, a radiant being whose presence filled her with awe and wonder. "You are barren and childless," he proclaimed, "but you are going to become pregnant and give birth to a son." His words echoed with divine authority, and with them came a promise. The child would be a Nazirite, dedicated to God from the womb, destined to lead Israel out of the clutches of the Philistines. The angel instructed her to abstain from wine and unclean foods, setting the stage for a life that would be both extraordinary and perilous. Filled with excitement, the woman rushed to share the news with Manoah, who, overwhelmed by the revelation, sought further guidance from God. His prayers were answered when the angel returned, reiterating the sacred instructions. Thus, in the divine tapestry of destiny, Samson was born, a child marked for greatness, blessed by the Spirit of the Lord since his earliest days. As Samson grew, the stirrings of the Spirit became evident. He was not just another child. He was a force of nature, destined to confront the Philistine oppressors. Yet, as the winds of destiny often reveal, the path to greatness is seldom straightforward. In his youthful exuberance, Samson ventured to Timnah, where he laid eyes on a Philistine woman whose allure captivated him. Defying his parents' wishes and the traditions of his people, he demanded, "Get her for me. She's the right one for me." Little did he know, this choice would set off a chain of events that would ignite a fierce conflict. On his way to Timnah, a fierce young lion crossed his path, its roar reverberating through the trees. In that moment of peril, the Spirit of the Lord surged within him, granting him strength beyond human reckoning. With bare hands, he tore the lion apart, a testament to his divine empowerment. Yet, in his youthful bravado, he kept this victory a secret, a foreshadowing of the many layers of his complex character. Returning to Timnah for his wedding, Samson encountered the lion's carcass, now home to a swarm of bees and honey. He scooped the sweet treasure, sharing it with his parents without revealing its origin. This act, seemingly innocuous, would soon intertwine with a riddle he posed at the wedding feast, challenging the 30 Philistine companions gathered to celebrate. "Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet," he declared, confident in his cleverness. Days passed, and the Philistines, unable to solve the riddle, resorted to coercion. They threatened Samson's wife, forcing her to extract the answer from him. In a moment of desperation, she wept and pleaded, and ultimately, he relented, revealing the secret. The Philistines, triumphant, answered the riddle just before sunset on the 7th day. Enraged, Samson retorted, "If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle." The betrayal stung deeply, igniting a fire within him. Driven by fury, he sought revenge, descending upon Ashkelon, where he struck down 30 men and claimed their garments to settle his wager. But revenge was a double-edged sword, and upon returning home, he found that his wife had been given to another. The pain of betrayal consumed him, and he vowed to retaliate against the Philistines. In a display of cunning and ferocity, he caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together, and set them loose among the standing grain of the Philistines. The flames that engulfed their fields were not just a loss of harvest, They were a declaration of war. The Philistines, enraged by this act, retaliated cruelly, burning Samson's wife and her father alive, plunging him deeper into a cycle of vengeance. Samson, now a man driven by wrath, fled to the cave of Etam, where he found temporary refuge. Yet the Philistine oppression loomed large, and the people of Judah, fearing the retribution of their rulers, sought him out. 3,000 men approached the cave, pleading with him to surrender. They were caught in the crossfire of his vendetta, but Samson, unyielding, declared, "I merely did to them what they did to me." Bound by loyalty to his people yet driven by a thirst for retribution, he allowed them to tie him up, knowing he would not be easily subdued. As he approached the Philistine camp, the Spirit of the Lord surged within him once more. The ropes that bound him fell away, and he seized a fresh jawbone of a donkey, wielding it as a weapon. In a moment of divine strength, he struck down 1,000 men, his voice echoing in the aftermath, proclaiming his victory. "With a donkey's jawbone, I have made donkeys of them," he declared, a fierce testament to his power. But this was only the beginning of Samson's tumultuous journey. His life would continue to be a tapestry woven with threads of strength and weakness, triumph and tragedy. The Philistines would not forget his wrath, nor would they relent in their pursuit. In the end, it was not just his strength that would define him, but also the choices he made, the relationships he forged, and the sacrifices he would ultimately embrace. The story of Samson is not just a tale of might. It is a poignant reflection on the complexities of human nature, the struggle for freedom, and the eternal quest for redemption amidst chaos.